You don't own silver. You own a receipt that says you own silver. And that receipt, it's been sold to 99 other people. Let me show you something that's going to change how you think about every investment you've ever made. Open your brokerage account right now. Look at your silver holdings. See that number? That's not silver. That's a promise. A promise that if you ever actually want your silver, the bank will figure out where to get it. Maybe. Here's the thing they don't tell you when you buy silver through a broker, a bank, or an ETF. You're not buying silver. You're buying unallocated silver. And unallocated means the bank doesn't actually set aside a specific bar with your name on it. They just add a number to your account, a digital entry, a promise, and they make the same promise to 100 different people using the same physical metal. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is how the system works. It's legal. It's standard practice. It's called fractional reserve precious metals. And it's the reason why, when you try to actually take delivery of your silver, suddenly there are fees, delays, minimums, and a dozen reasons why it's complicated. Let me break down exactly how this works. When you buy silver through a major bank or broker, you're given a choice, allocated or unallocated. Allocated means they actually purchase specific bars, store them in a vault, and assign them to you. You pay storage fees. You pay insurance. You pay premiums. It's expensive, but it's real. Unallocated means you're a creditor. You have a claim against the bank's silver inventory, but so do thousands of other people. The bank keeps a pool of physical silver. Let's say they have 1 million ounces, but they've sold 100 million ounces worth of unallocated claims. As long as only 1% of customers ever want actual delivery, the system works. Everyone's happy. The bank makes enormous profits because they're selling the same metal over and over again. But what happens when more than 1% of people want delivery? What happens when 5% want delivery? 10%? The system breaks. And we've seen this happen. March 2020. COVID panic hits. Investors rush to safe haven assets. Silver demand explodes. And suddenly, premiums on physical silver go through the roof. You could buy paper silver, a claim on silver through an ETF or bank, for $15 per ounce. But if you wanted actual physical silver delivered to your house, $25 per ounce. Same metal, $10 premium. Why? Because there wasn't enough physical silver to satisfy the claims. The paper market was trading at one price. The physical market was trading at another. This shouldn't be possible if paper and physical are the same thing, but they're not. Paper silver is a promise. Physical silver is metal. And when everyone tries to convert promises into metal at the same time, you discover how many promises were made against how little metal. COMEX, the largest silver futures exchange in the world, holds approximately 350 million ounces of physical silver in registered vaults. Sounds like a lot, but there are 1.2 billion ounces worth of open interest in silver futures contracts. That's a ratio of 3.4 to 1. For every ounce of physical silver in the vault, there are 3.4 ounces worth of paper claims. And that's just COMEX. That's not counting ETFs. That's not counting bank unallocated accounts. That's not counting mining company forward sales. When you add it all up, some analysts estimate the real ratio is closer to 100 to 1. 100 paper ounces for every physical ounce. 100 people who think they own silver. 1 bar in the vault. Now here's where it gets really dark. The banks know this. They've known it for decades, and they profit from it in ways most people never understand. Remember the short position strategy we talked about before? The way brokerage firms manipulate price during BCI rebalancing? That only works because of fractional reserve silver. Here's why. When a bank sells you unallocated silver, they don't buy physical silver. They just add a number to your account, so they're immediately short silver. They owe you silver, but they don't have it. Now, if the price goes up, they lose money because they'll have to buy silver at a higher price to satisfy your claim. But if the price goes down, they profit because they can buy silver cheaper than what you paid. So banks that sell unallocated silver have a structural incentive to push the price down. Every dollar silver falls is profit for them on every unallocated ounce they've sold. This is why you see massive sell orders hit the market at strategic times. It's not random. It's banks managing their short exposure in the fractional reserve system. Let me show you a specific example. In 2021, during the Wall Street Bet silver squeeze attempt, retail investors tried to buy physical silver to force a short squeeze on the banks. The strategy was simple. If millions of people demand physical delivery, the fractional reserve system breaks. The banks can't deliver what they don't have. They'll be forced to buy physical silver at any price to cover their positions. Silver price would explode. Here's what actually happened. On February 1st, 2021, silver opened at $27. Retail buying pressure was massive. By February 2nd, silver hit $30. The squeeze was working. Physical silver was sold out everywhere. Dealers couldn't get supply. Premiums hit $10 over spot. The system was breaking. And then the banks changed the rules. COMEX raised margin requirements by 18% overnight. This meant anyone with leveraged silver positions had to put up more cash or get liquidated. Forced selling began. By February 3rd, silver was back to $27. By February 5th, it was at $26. The squeeze was over. But here's the critical part. The banks didn't deliver silver. They forced liquidations in the paper market instead. The retail investors who wanted physical couldn't get it. The dealers who wanted to buy wholesale silver to sell retail couldn't get allocated inventory. But the paper price collapsed back down. The banks protected their short positions in the fractional reserve system by manipulating the paper market. This is the lie. That paper silver and physical silver are the same thing. They're not. They trade at different prices during stress. They have different delivery timelines. They have different counterparty risk. Physical silver is metal. Paper silver is a liability of the institution that issued it. And in a crisis, those liabilities don't all get paid. Think about what happened with FTX in crypto. Everyone who had Bitcoin on FTX thought they owned Bitcoin. They had a number on a screen that said they owned Bitcoin, but FTX didn't actually hold enough Bitcoin to back all the claims. When everyone tried to withdraw at once, the exchange collapsed. People lost everything. Now imagine that, but with silver. And imagine it's not one exchange, it's the entire banking system. Every major bank, every ETF, every unallocated account. All of them operating on fractional reserve. All of them promising silver they don't have. All of them assuming that not everyone will want delivery at once. What happens when they're wrong? Let me walk you through the scenario. It starts with a crisis. Could be a currency crisis. Could be a banking crisis. Could be a geopolitical event. Something that makes people lose faith in paper assets and rush to physical assets. Gold and silver. Suddenly, everyone with unallocated silver wants delivery. Not 1%, not 5%, maybe 20%, maybe 30%. The system can't handle it. The banks don't have the metal. So they do what banks always do in a crisis. They change the rules. First, they impose delivery delays. Sorry, 90-day wait for physical. Then they impose minimum sizes. Sorry, we only deliver in 1,000-ounce bars. No coins, no small bars. Then they impose fees. Oh, you want delivery? That'll be 30% over spot price for logistics. Finally, they just stop delivery altogether. We're suspending physical redemptions due to market conditions. Your silver doesn't disappear from your account. The number is still there, but you can't get the actual metal. You're stuck holding a paper claim on an institution that's effectively insolvent on a physical basis. Sure, they have cash. Sure, they can settle in dollars. But you don't want dollars. You wanted silver. That's why you bought it. And here's the final twist. When this happens, the paper price might actually go down while the physical price goes up. Why? Because when redemptions are suspended, people panic sell their paper positions. They figure some cash is better than a frozen claim. The paper market crashes. But physical silver? You can't find it at any price. The disconnect becomes total. We've seen this pattern before, not with silver, but with gold, in 1933. The US government made private gold ownership illegal. Executive Order 6102. Every American had to turn in their gold to the government at $20 per ounce. After collection was complete, the government revalued gold to $35 per ounce. Instant 75% devaluation of the dollar against gold. But Americans couldn't own gold anymore, so they just took the loss. Could it happen again? Different mechanism, same outcome. Instead of confiscation, you get suspended redemptions in the fractional reserve system. You still own paper silver. You just can't get physical. The paper price stays low. The physical price goes to the moon. You're stuck holding the wrong side of the trade. So what do you actually do about this? First, understand what you actually own. If you have silver in a brokerage account, call them right now. Ask if it's allocated or unallocated. If it's unallocated, ask what the redemption process is. Ask about fees. Ask about minimums. Ask about delays. Get it in writing. Second, if you actually want to own silver, buy physical and take delivery. Coins, bars, in your possession or in a vault where you have allocated storage with your name on specific serialized bars. Yes, it's more expensive. Yes, there are premiums and storage fees. But it's real. It's yours. It's not a fractional reserve claim. Third, understand that price manipulation in the paper market doesn't change the physical fundamentals. When silver drops 20% in a day because of a BCI rebalancing trade, that's not telling you silver is worthless. That's telling you the paper market is manipulated. Physical premiums don't drop during these events. Physical stays tight. Because physical is real. The 100-to-1 lie is that your silver investment is backed by actual silver. It's not. It's backed by a promise from an institution that's made the same promise to 99 other people. And when stress comes, when everyone wants delivery, you're going to find out that promises aren't silver. They're just paper.